No. If anything,
We talk.
No, fuck.
Yeah, you got your ass.
And we're back. Welcome back to another potential Foodies podcast, or a potential failure.
So Sauce is here for spring break. Austin is just here.
I'm here for spring break.
He's
Do
here
that next year.
for quite a long spring break. And then I can come whenever, to be honest. If it's the
Yeah, you
weekends
can.
for the most part. Thanks, babe.
Just come.
No, I know, you know. I know you
No,
know.
not.
Oh, it's a bat.
Oh, shit.
Why'd you duck like after I said
For
it?
some reason, I thought it was like I
It
thought I
just
saw
it
it.
flew off that away.
No, I thought I saw it because of.
Oh, it's back. It's nesting up there.
nesting.
Yeah, it just landed.
I don't see it. Oh yeah, I do.
Where?
Right there, in between that light.
No.
What?
It's on the pole. If you hit the pole, it'll fly out.
It's on the pole.
Hit the pole with your hand. Just smack it with your hand.
Wait,
Anyways, we're here.
I don't see it.
I wanted to do
Hit
I
the
wanted
pole.
to get wings. And these two were like, yeah, we can do wings. So I drove down, staying for the weekend, most of it. And I was like, oh, we should do a Foodies raw and uncut, right? And that was, my interpretation of it was literally like, we're just gonna be eating food and just talking about the most random shit. And that happened, but it
That did happen.
but it didn't go how I was expecting it to go. I thought we were gonna be like a little more serious and like, oh yeah, you know, life is bad, good, crazy, interesting things, introspective things.
For you?
Oh, it's fucking awesome, yeah.
Glad for you.
Yeah, I fucking deserve it after what I've been through the past fucking semester. And yeah, but instead it was a bit more hectic, edgy, and insensitive. But now we're here.
Did anyone get a screaming dog/child?
You didn't have to.
Where the fuck are you getting this from? Where did you get a child from?
It's just a dog barking.
It's just a dog.
Oh, that fooled me. What?
It could have fooled you.
Me.
Could have fooled me. I don't say that.
All right. Well, if we actually want
You got a deadly stinkle.
What'd you say?
Sorry.
What'd you say?
I heard you got a deadly stinkle.
What? I can't understand what you're saying.
What am I saying?
Dude,
What does he
Shut up.
say? I don't. What does he say?
it's better that you doesn't know. Just keep it
Can
that
you
way.
say it again?
I'll bust it out. one
He'll
time.
say it again. Don't
Randomly.
worry about it.
Don't worry, I will.
Dirty what?
Just keep going.
All right. So I think if you actually want to talk about what's happened,
So,
I think we should try, and then we'll see how far we failed. I'll go ahead. Also, I don't know when this is going to come out. This could come out as the last thing that we have so far recorded, or this could come out.
we got like 8 things in store right now, so that's minimum 8 weeks.
Yeah. I mean,
we could push it.
this could come out Monday.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we could do that. Forgot about that.
So if
It's
this,
called the magic of video editing.
yeah, I mean, this could come out in like a few days. So basically, everything that you will see for the next 6 weeks?
Can I date it?
Yeah, I mean,
March 15th, 2024, I think. It's 15th,
yeah.
I think. I know the year, just don't know the day.
It's 15.
Let it be known that this is
Did I do a spit take like I did earlier?
Let it be known that this is also a day that's like it's a day that's almost an important day because
Was it St. Patrick's Day?
no,
That's 17. That's Sunday.
March 21st, 2024. The next round of buff updates for One Piece Mighty Rush comes out.
One Piece.
And I'm really excited because they're buffing one of my favorite characters, Jiki, and they're also buffing Kizaru, which I'm really excited for.
I will say this. One Piece.
Don't do it.
If you really want to cash in and have somebody talk about One Piece all the time, we'll turn this podcast into a One Piece if you'll pay us money.
Facts as fuck.
Well, okay. Let me also say
You
we
ain't
still
pay me.
we
Yeah, you
still
gotta
have
pay me.
we still have a competition ongoing. Every single subscriber gets an episode of One Piece that he has to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now he has to watch 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Me and him are into One Piece. We think it's one of the best pieces of fiction.
Oh God.
Just say that everything you'll be watching, except for this, because we may push this to Monday, we may push this to the end, who knows.
Fuck, you're right. Monday. Oh my God, we have to put out a new video on Monday.
Everything will be up to date when the Atlanta documentary drops.
Whoa.
Have we announced that we're going to
No,
Atlanta? Oh.
not at all.
Reverse. Or what's that noise with the VHS? The Foodies are going to Atlanta.
Moody Blues.
Oh yeah.
The Foodies are going to Atlanta next weekend. So if it's March 15th, what is that? The 21st to the 24th we'll be in Atlanta.
Something like that.
I believe you.
So if this comes out Monday and you watch this, that weekend
We're gonna be in.
we'll be in Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta, if you're in town, come and say hello. And get on the podcast because we need guests.
Go to the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yeah, go to
Go see
Yeah.
Bare Naked Ladies.
We want the Bare Naked Ladies to go platinum a fourth
Did
time.
anybody put a timer on?
No.
Okay, well, we'll wing it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go see the Bare Naked.
I get the joke. He said wing it because we just had wings.
Yeah, that was intentional. Thank you.
You
Alright.
wish you could write material. How to use that?
Yeah, but anyway. So we're gonna go see the Bare Naked Ladies. Go for the Bare Naked Ladies. If you go for us, that's cool. Go see the Bare Naked Ladies. Go to the festival. Go with friends. Have a good time like we'll do.
We should like clip this and then at the Bare Naked Ladies and then be like, oh shit, dude.
We should.
Because I mean, like,
Can you sponsor us, Bare Naked Ladies?
Yes, give us money.
we'd love to do an interview with him. He would love to do an interview.
I would also. I know you. I know y'all went platinum at least twice. Probably 3 times.
I just like blame it on me a lot. So
I like that one.
you should play that one, Bare Naked Ladies.
That one and Pinch Me. Please play Pinch Me. Pinch Me is really good.
And we're not a typical podcast. You're not gonna come on here and just talk about your music. You hear that from everybody.
You
No.
can talk about whatever you
We'll
want.
talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, but
Yeah, if you want to talk about. I was about to say something not great.
what is it? Does it start with
Just
an
come talk
R?
about your music, please.
It starts with an R. What does it end with?
Read? You want to like read your sheet music?
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, that doesn't end with an E.
Yeah, that's why we're laughing.
Anyway. Oh my god. So yeah.
Literally.
Someone else go. I'm done.
Yeah, so Atlanta is happening.
That's a
These
place.
two are coming.
Sorry.
Where are we
Immature
going?
moment.
We're going to Atlanta.
Immature moment. I'm sorry.
These two are going to come.
Hey, do you feel like editing an inappropriate counter at the bottom of the screen? So
I
we can
mean,
count how many times we do it.
Sure, make my life harder. Go ahead.
So, how many times have you air thrusted in the past hour?
In the past hour. What's the camera's rolling, by the way?
Cool.
That's why I asked.
Like 15 or so times.
15?
Yeah. Oh, you think it's a higher?
I was thinking
level?
like 4.
No, it's not more than 4. Speaking of OnlyFans.
What?
Well, because it's air thrusting. Is that? I'm not good at segues.
I'm much better than you.
All right, try
You'll see
again.
that on the Black
Sorry.
Country New Road when it comes out.
All right, segue it.
Air thrusting. You know what else thrust?
Whores.
Dick. Whores. You
That
know-
was a
you
better
know-
segue than
you
mine?
know where whores live? On OnlyFans.
That was not a better segue than mine. Go ahead.
It very much was. Down me up, brother man.
Oh shit. Like I was almost falling asleep.
I know. Maybe OnlyFans a weekend.
Maybe, okay.
What do you think about OnlyFans, man?
What do you think about?
Oh, I was asking you.
Oh. I fuck with it. I fucks with it.
Here's my thing.
I've flip-flopped my opinion on OnlyFans a lot.
Yeah.
You flip-flop your opinion on women a lot.
What do you mean? I love pussy. What the fuck?
That's not what I meant, but okay. Go off. Whatever.
He said go off.
Go off.
Go off.
Attack,
Yeah,
attack.
you love pussy. Yeah, right.
Talk about it.
Get it, brother. Get it, man.
So, I mean,
Go off.
for OnlyFans, I guess initially I was against it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I fucks with it, and then I was against it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I fucks with it, and then I was against it, and then I was like, oh, I fucks with it.
What can you explain it?
Well, then I was against it, and then I was like, I fucks with it.
Okay, can you explain why you?
Well, should we give everybody's opinion? Let's give everybody's opinion.
Okay.
Let's give everybody's opinion before we actually talk
Let's
about
go around and say if we fucks with it, or if we're against it.
it. I'm against it.
I'm also against it.
The fuck?
I'll go ahead and start if you want me to.
I want to hear. Let's go with the minority first.
Oh no! No, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was good. That was great.
That was a good one. You're getting more like Austin.
I was about to say because he's not white, and then Gio said that. And I couldn't say
I was gonna say because you have the minority opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know.
Alright, so, so I'm gonna be honest. I think OnlyFans is just another sieve to sift the sand.
Of what?
Women.
Yeah. Can you explain what that means?
There's a lot of women out there. That, they could potentially be willing to put a price on themselves, their body, themselves as a person. And if they're willing to do that, then personally,
You think they ain't shit?
no.
Oh.
I just wouldn't want to be in a long-term relationship with somebody like that. And when I mean long-term, I mean like I'm going to marry you and we're going to have children.
I respect that. That's a respectable opinion.
So the reason why I'm for OnlyFans is because
So you like using it as a bypass filter?
essentially, if they do it, that just takes out competition or potential candidates. It's kind of like
So
it's like, in a dating app where like I've never had a dating app, but can you like filter people? Like
yeah, you can pick different things and stuff. Yeah.
that's just another filter for me. If they have an OnlyFans, I'm just not going
So
to.
you're for it for your own personal gain. You're for this whole thing.
Not based on the actual OnlyFans.
Not for like my financial gain or anything,
No,
but
no,
just
no.
because it's something that I wouldn't want in a partner, and with it being a thing, I can just filter the people out that have done it.
Really, just because you like the fact that you can.
It's another bypass filter that lets me sift through, the whole fucking ocean of numerous people that, could be a potential partner for me. That's why I'm for it. I'm not for it because, I don't know, whatever other reason people may think I'm for it. I'm just for it because it makes my life easier
Yeah.
in choosing a partner. Because I do not, like...
it makes a lot of other people's lives pretty hard.
Wait,
What?
you mean their dicks? Is that what you mean? Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and say your feelings on it?
You go first.
Okay.
Is that what you guys were expecting when I was like, I'm for it?
That's not.
I thought you were gonna give like a reason, like why these women and men, whoever want, but mostly women.
Men too.
But why they do it and why it's good for them to do it, other than they make money off of it. But no, you just said because it's like a filter,
Yeah,
which is fine. I mean,
I can respect that opinion.
my thing was why I'm against it.
Right.
My thing is why I'm against it is because money isn't everything. So yes, making money off something is great. But most of these people that are doing OnlyFans are young people. 18, 19, 20, 21.
Dude, it's actually insane. Like, there's like 19-year-old, like, OnlyFans. Like, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers like younger than me now.
I know.
That's insane to me.
So my point is
that
that
is so insane.
my point is that like,
We're no
and
longer
we're not.
considered
I
the
mean,
youth anymore.
we're around that age right now. But when we're 50, we're gonna look at the stuff that we've done right now, and we're gonna go, we regret that. I think you're gonna see a lot of these OnlyFans people. I didn't hear what you said.
The podcast.
Sorry. No, you good. What was I saying?
You were saying.
I just feel like you're going to hear a whole generation of women and some men, but women, a whole generation of women regretting it.
Oh, it's already happening.
True.
Yeah.
I just
Lana Rhodes. Have you seen? Do you know who Lana Rhodes is?
Who is she?
no,
Great work, by the way, Lana.
What did she do?
Is she a porn
She's a
star?
porn star.
Oh, I have a porn star example I'm going to give you later. But I was going to say now. I was watching a interview. I wasn't watching porn. I was watching an interview of Riley Reid, who's a porn star.
Who?
I think everyone knows who she. You don't know who Riley Reid is?
Should I?
She's a porn star.
This motherfucker.
Like the most
He's like
popular.
He's like porn.
I think she's the most popular, or was, or something.
He's like porn. I've never heard of it.
I was the one who said porn.
But anyway, she was doing an interview, and the woman. It was like a normal interview, but I clicked on it because the woman asked her a question, and it was, what do you tell women or younger women that want to get into porn? And Riley Reid said, you shouldn't do it because it destroyed her family life. She barely talks to her family. She never sees her family. She says she struggles with relationships, like boyfriend, husband, and all that, and she wants that stuff, but she can't get it because of porn. And she's terrified to have kids because her kids are going to discover this stuff. And so a 19-year-old Riley Reid made the decision to do porn. And at the time, everyone was like, she's an adult. That's okay. You can do that if you want. And she wanted to do it. She really did. But she didn't understand the consequences. Nor, by the way, should a 19-year-old really understand the consequences you do. You need other people to step in and go, hey, maybe a 19-year-old woman shouldn't do this.
Do you think there should be like an age limit on it? Like a starting age limit?
Either an age limit or there's really something that is like, hey, this is what your life is going to be. And I'm not saying every single porn star in the entire world has had this experience. Just a lot of them.
No, some of them love it.
Yeah, some of them do.
You know Bella Danger? She defends it.
Yes.
She
does.
Her and Mia Khalifa like fought on Twitter over this. You know how Mia Khalifa? You guys know Mia Khalifa?
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, she wore hijab once.
Yeah, she wore hijab. She wore hijab.
I
She
didn't
was
know
getting fucking DP'd by 2 BBCs.
Didn't
Rico
she?
Strong and Charlie Mack, by the way, if you guys know.
Didn't some
Anyways.
Arabic
Oh, I
people
did.
threaten to kill her?
Yeah,
Remember that?
I think it was like ISIS or some shit. But yeah, so like she literally got like threatened by ISIS on online.
Yeah.
And so like
Can you
initially,
imagine getting called out by them? Can you imagine getting called out by ISIS on
Be kind
Twitter
of
or
cool.
something?
Be kind of cool to get called out by ISIS.
well, anyways, like now, for years she's been like been online. She's like, oh, I was taken advantage of. I was a socially anxious girl who just wanted attention, things like that. But and then she would demonize a lot of people in the porn industry. And then Bella Danger heard about this shit, and then she was like, she basically was defending a lot of people in the porn industry. Like, it was your fucking decision, dumbass. If you didn't want it, then you shouldn't have done it.
You can't throw stones from a glass house and expect not to get the stones turned back.
I don't know when Bella Danger started porn, but she does not regret her decision, and she's very much enjoyed being a porn star and getting all
Well,
the
that's what I'm
attention.
saying. Like, I'm not saying that everyone has this, but most porn stars do.
I wouldn't assume most
so-
porn stars, but a good porn
I'd
star.
probably say it's like 50-50.
You think it's 50-50?
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe.
Most likely.
But I just think, should we... Look, I don't know. I don't have the answers to this shit. I'm just saying, should we really leave a decision like this in the hands of an 18, 19-year-old?
I don't know.
Should we?
I don't think so, personally.
I think I'm pretty...
Because
Because I mean, we're gonna regret
There's
doing.
some fucking stupid 19-year-olds, and there's some
Yeah.
fucking stupid 16-year-olds,
Well-
and there's some fucking stupid 25-year-olds.
Well, they say the brain is fully done developing at 25.
Yeah.
Which
But
makes
even-
me think a lot of weird things. Like, not to get political, why do we let 18-year-olds go to the army? Why do we let 18-year-olds vote? Why do we let them smoke? And all this stuff. Or, I guess they don't smoke. Why do we let them buy dry ice? That could kill them. I'm so glad I got to buy dry ice, though. That stuff was fun. Buy dry ice. Play with it.
So I have a roommate.
Sponsor me
who,
with dry ice.
have a roommate who is a 4th year electrical engineer, mechanic in the summers. He's an electrician as well. He went to the Navy and became an electrician in the Navy. Knows a fuck ton of shit. Like, it's insane, actually. Like, he's just... My door was locked one time, like, from the inside. Or my bathroom door was locked from the inside. I don't know how the fuck it happened. He got it open. So, that was really nice. I was like, oh, should I call the handy guy?
He's like, watch this shit.
You're kind of scared that he can, like, break into your room at any time, though?
No. Because the room doors are different than the bathroom doors. You can't, like, do what he did in my room doors.
I know that he didn't do this, but it'd be kind of funny if he just like kicks the door in.
Yeah.
He's like,
Roadhouse.
But so like he just knows a fuck ton of shit. If you ask him to help you with something, he will walk into his room. I don't know. 30 seconds later, walk out with a tool. I'm like, okay, let's do this shit. He joined the army, and his opinion on some things. This was like the first day I ever met him. We had this game made by Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire.
sponsored.
It's a game?
Yeah, it's...
I was going to say we're sponsored by
I
the
think
Daily Wire, but that's...
I think it's called Yes or No. And it's literally like just a bunch of questions. And you have to kind of guess...
So they're like icebreaker questions?
Yes. It's icebreaker questions, but political, social, and it's serious actual shit. And also like some fun
Maybe we
things.
should play it.
It's kind of fun. Doing a podcast.
For example, one of them was like, has the creation of dating apps been a net positive or net negative for society? We're not going to answer that yet. Let me keep on with the story.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah, so like, you know, we're going around, and then it was like, something about, I don't know how we got onto the topic, but it was relating to the question. It got to him, and then it was like, okay, should we, he basically said, he thinks we should raise the age limit, like, on a lot of things. From voting to joining the army, and, you know, things like taking out student loans as well.
Yeah.
So, I know that's what you were kind of proposing, is like, we probably shouldn't be letting these 18-year-olds have as much, and I was super against it, maybe like 3 years ago, but now that I'm 19, I would still be for raising a lot of shit up till 21.
Yeah.
Like raising the voting age up till 21.
I don't know what necessarily...
So weird.
And-
Like, we can vote and decide how this country turns out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also I would be for changing the voting age to 21, and also the military stuff.
Mhm.
I was so against it like 2 years ago, but now that I've lived a little more and seen how stupid some people are, I'm for it. I can.
Well, stupid doesn't have an age limit. Stupid is for...
True, but you can minimize it by raising the age limit because you're more developed.
I don't think so, man.
I think
So you
growing up and going through life definitely does make you smarter, just naturally.
Dude, I'd be afraid of letting my fucking 13-year-old self vote.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Like,
there definitely has to draw. You definitely have to draw a line.
Because there's people that advocate that the voting age should be lowered to 16, and that's what I used to advocate for. Now I'm
Why?
well, because when you turn 16, you're legally allowed to start working, and by definition, there is no no representation or no taxation without representation. One of those two.
No taxation.
So as soon as you start getting taxed, at least this was my philosophy a couple of years ago. Once you start getting taxed, once you start working and producing labor for this country and providing value, you should very much be allowed to dictate what happens with your tax funds and who represents you and things like that. Now, I'm pretty against that, to be quite honest.
Well,
It's not that I'm against it, it's just I think it should be later because you motherfuckers are still stupid in developing.
Well, I think a solve for that
Including me.
could be less taxes for minors, technically.
Well, that's a different.
That's a
subject.
whole-
Or just not
let's try to
taxing
get back
minors
to
at all.
I wish I
We're making good points here, but I think we should get back to the OnlyFans thing because we are leading to a different discussion.
He's still on topic of
No, I know he is, but I'm just saying if we, let's try to keep it. Let's try to keep it.
PG.
This is good
guys.
content.
Let's try to keep the focus, the
Let's,
OnlyFans here, because that's what we're tasked to do.
Let's not get it political. Let's stick with OnlyFans.
Oh no, I'm not saying because political.
No.
I'm agreeing.
I think it's just funny that we're like, whoa, let's bring it back to OnlyFans.
Well, the thing
Taxes?
No, way too much.
Well, I know it. I know it ended up diving towards a more political thing, but I think this is inherently a politically charged question. If you like OnlyFans or not, because that
Well, and
that
the way
also
that I
extends-
was talking
that
about,
also
yes.
extends to. Do you think sex work should be monetized? Do you think this should be monetized? Do you think this should be monetized?
I think it's more
or
of a-
available to these people.
I think it's more of a socially charged question. As
Well,
for
social is
example,
political.
they were like, my another. Fuck, dude, so many conversations in that apartment. So, like, for example, it was something about the football like salary being capped or some shit, and it was like, this is very a bad stain on our society that we are valuing
Football over education.
yes, football
It's
over the salary
terrible.
of teachers. You know, like they're fucking struggling,
I-
and then can you explain that? Because you know about that. What happened to the salary of football that like all of a sudden people were
Yeah.
like, oh, what the fuck?
People don't understand how the football salary actually comes to
Yeah.
them.
yeah, it's there.
The government pays teachers. The government doesn't pay quarterbacks. They don't pay running backs.
Facts.
These are private companies called television companies that are paying the
Phil.
NFL, paying the NBA,
No.
paying MLB, paying all of them an absorbent amount of money
Yep.
to show their stuff. So if you pay a lot of money to a product, that product has to then spend a lot of money.
Should
And
we
so if
be-
owners are making a ton of money off TV revenue, they're going to then put it into their team for performance on the field. Because the thought process is the more money you put on the field, the more wins you win. Now that's not necessarily true. Well, you can tell, but that is the idea, is that the more money you have in the cap, the better the teams will be. So the government has no control over how much money it gets. So now ESPN, ABC, CBS, NBC, all of those companies are the reason why all the quarterbacks and running backs and receivers and all those people make all that money. That's just what it is. If you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at the TV companies. Or get mad at the millions and
Is
millions
he
of fans
diving at
that
my
watch it.
camera? I just not realized.
What?
I think that bat's diving at my camera. Look at him. He's gonna circle back through. See? He's
Yeah.
diving at my camera. You motherfucker.
But that leads to another thing. So, NFL is private, schools are government funded. However, we had another another debate about this, and this one actually got incredibly heated.
Between you and your roommates?
I did not join this argument because my mind is already made up, and like, you genuinely could not tell me very much about it. And also, I was really busy that night. Like,
About
I had,
what?
huh?
About what?
So I remember, okay, NFL makes a fuck ton of money, private. Government is not paying teachers well. Government funded. Education is government funded. Let's just make education private. Remember when I texted you guys, they're arguing about private versus-
yeah.
And I was
Was that
like,
the night you sent a video clip?
of them screaming? Yeah. I mean, that happens often. But then they apologize.
That's
One of
okay.
my roommates was very, very passionate because he was a teacher.
Yeah,
It was,
you noticed
it was
that.
the Navy one.
Yeah.
Navy.
He was a teacher?
Yeah, he was also.
And what
a
was his
teacher.
stance?
Very, very pro government.
Pro-co.
I think it has
90% of teachers are pro government.
And is that...
But here's the thing though. If it's not
My bad.
if it's not like government funded and free for everyone to go to, then a lot of people wouldn't get education. There's a lot of lower income people who just wouldn't get that education because they can't afford to pay for it. And I think it needs to be free.
Oh, well, I have a question to that. If everything goes private, wouldn't then private things let what's the correct word?
Poverty.
Wouldn't that open up for them too? Because because it's wrong, but they will see a economic value in letting those kind of people into it.
No, because again, we're 19, 20-year-olds. We don't know as much about this as we probably should.
No, I don't know.
I don't think any of us have spent like hours researching this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That was like maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago. See, our views are. Hold on, wait for card pass. Our views are either outdated, underinformed, or just old.
Yeah.
But still,
Still believe us.
trust us. But for-profit things don't necessarily like give handouts to poverty-stricken people or stuff like that.
Yeah, but some do.
No, like for-profit business is going to go out of their way to give someone a free sample of something.
Ooh, I don't, not necessarily. I mean, all the biggest companies in the world, private companies, they give millions and billions of dollars in charity. Now, I will say it's because of social pressure. I 100% believe that.
Or tax write-offs.
Or tax write-offs,
So-
yes. But that does happen. So why couldn't it happen in that realm?
So I think one of the trickiest parts about this whole debate and topic is we can't treat education as a commodity because it
is
deals
a
with
need.
children.
It's
Yeah.
a need.
You can't just think of children as like products.
But
Because-
people do that all the time with other things.
Yeah, but this is education and it actually matters now.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of things with children matter.
Sure, but this one specifically matters.
yeah, I agree.
So it's a sensitive topic because again, you can't treat schools as businesses. If you do, you're probably going to create some lifeless children because school isn't just about numbers and maxing out SAT scores, ACT scores, GPAs.
But
it's also about introducing children to other children and teaching them how to be productive members of society and how to socialize and be normal, and also to show them or kind of guide them towards what they want to do for the rest of their life. It's not just about let's max out the scores that we can on these children, because if you do that, then you're going to have incredibly high suicide rates like in Korea, Japan,
but it
and
is
China.
leading into that more than it ever has.
Yeah.
Well,
Sadly.
here's the thing, and this is a whole other conversation topic for a whole other time. But if my memory serves me correctly, Rockefeller made what we would consider the modern education system to teach people how to be in fact.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Which, again, a whole different conversation topic. It needs a reform, an entire reform. It needs the education system needs an entire reform. A lot of things in this country do. No one's perfect. No country's perfect. Nothing's perfect.
You can make the argument almost everything does.
Exactly.
And by the way, we're not the only country that is that way. Don't think I'm attacking America here.
This guy hates
I forgot what
America.
the statistic is, but it came up in the topic. It was like we're like 20th or something.
The thing is,
on education,
a lot of the way that teachers get paid or get bonuses or something like that is depending on how their students do, which is an inherent flaw of
It's a flaw.
setting them up to be factory workers, or setting children up to be factory workers. It's a terrible practice that is very outdated. I don't think it's a political thing to say our education system isn't great. It's politically charged, but I don't think no one's going to be like.
I think certain topics in it, but I do think everyone is in agreement.
Except
for the people in D.C. Oh, I got them.
I mean, it's just going to be hard to change.
it is.
It would be easier if everything's private, because every single school system could do it differently. But then again, you didn't pay for it. There's pros and cons to everything. Nothing is black and white.
But
it's a grayscale.
No, by the way, I'm for public more than private. Now, I haven't done any research on this, but just my gut feeling is public. Make this government funded.
One of the things that came up when you do become private is, did you guys ever hear about how like Florida or Texas, one of the two fucking crazy governor Republican taking away licenses?
Probably Florida.
Like they were like,
I don't want to get political, but Florida has a.
It was either DeSantis or Greg Abbott. I don't know.
Wait, that's Texas?
That's Texas's governor.
Mr. Abbott. Mr. DeSantis.
So essentially, they were trying to.
I forgot Abbott was there.
They were trying to take away the license to be a barber. Like, you can literally register as a barber without ever having to do cosmetology school or whatever the fuck they.
Oh, that's not cool.
That is a terrible idea. For multiple reasons. First off,
wait, what?
Handling dangerous equipment,
chemicals on somebody's head, things like that.
And it puts money wise, it's terrible.
Is that, by the way, was their assumption they're creating jobs by doing that?
they're allowing it to be easier for people to go into the industry. Yes.
It should. There are some industries which I don't think should be easy to get into.
I think that's most industries. At least in my opinion.
So
you should be good at what you're doing.
Here's the thing with schools. When you privatize it, all of a sudden you're taking away, I don't know the laws, but I know to be a teacher in a public school, you have to have certifications and probably a degree in education as well. Because
Depending on what level of teacher, yeah.
Yeah. And that's incredibly more important. It gets more and more important the younger of kids that you teach, right? You could go to college for physics and then probably teach a high school physics class just fine without having to need an education degree. But when you get into first grade, second grade, kindergarten,
I'd
fifth
say up
grade,
until I would say up until probably 7th, 7th, 8th grade.
yeah, I'd probably say like 7th or 8th. You really do need that education degree because it teaches you how to work with kids and also how to teach kids. And
But yeah, there's a dog over there. Sorry.
But yeah, so like, if you go private in certain schools, and then you're essentially taking away the minimum requirements, and like the minimum, I guess, certifications that a person would need to be in charge of a child's future education and development.
Yeah.
That's one of the case. That's like just one of the reasons why I'm not for private, and that's one of the things that came up during the conversation.
Yeah, I just my worry, and I know this isn't this is definitely not the biggest worry, but like, okay, who's the CEO of that school?
The principal. The superintendent. Superintendent.
Okay, what's the superintendent's goal of his company now? His or her company?
Make as much money as you can.
Exactly.
That's why I think.
That's why I
private
think.
schools are
Yeah,
bad.
I think it's why it has to be public. Because if it is private, your goal is making money. Now you can get into the debate. The role of the government is to make money as well, but
It's four different reasons. Come on, guys.
I think it's at least a lesson, a thought.
Another thing.
that, fuck, I just had it. I forgot. Keep going. Somebody keep going.
I just want to take a quick side. Think about how crazy it is that we went from OnlyFans
To protect the kids.
to government to schools. But I think we're inherently biased though, which I think is important to note because we all went to a public school system.
Sure did.
And my mom, well, actually, a lot of people in my family are teachers. And I mean, this might go on a tangent, but people in my family, they teach older kids, like elementary school, all the way up to high school. There's not really anybody that's teaching pre-K, kindergarten, all that kind of stuff. And all they do is talk about how these teachers and the school before are not even teaching these kids how to properly read. Like they're on like a kindergarten level, and they're in 4th grade now.
Well, that's an entirely different issue.
But
with
That
cell
deals with a
phones.
lot of COVID.
No,
A lot of COVID.
No, I'm in agreement
not
with
only
you.
COVID, but also the increased use and the decreasing age of increasing use in the younger age people are getting phones nowadays.
Yeah,
That's what I would say.
Sooner.
I 100%
And
agree with everything you're saying, but my point is that does it get any better in a private situation? No, I think it gets worse. Because it's not about teaching these kids how to read, it's about how much money can I get off that kid.
I don't want to play devil's advocate, but I will just because I think it's fair.
No, actually, no, it's a good thing to play devil's advocate when you're debating.
But
It's actually
I
a good
think it's
thing.
important to note that in a lot of cases, private schools are smaller, so every single kid can get more attention devoted to them.
Yeah.
Which is an important thing, because I remember we are lucky enough to have a school system where the teachers actively care about us and will.
Well, and it was a lot less kids, to be fair.
Yeah,
It wasn't like a
smaller
typical public school. It was one of the smaller public schools in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, but the thing is, we still keep in touch with some of our high school teachers.
I saw one like 2 weeks ago.
And the thing is, they know us on a more personal level. We are friends to them now that we've grown up and are out of school. We still keep in touch with them. Hell, I send one of them Instagram memes all the time.
But do you think that's just because there's less students?
I think yes, but because of that having less students, we are able to get a better learning experience I know there was a time where I sat down with a teacher and he devoted his whole afternoon to teaching me something about math that I just didn't understand because he had the time to do it because he wasn't swamped with 1,000 other kids.
Yeah, I mean, Gio was there. We
What?
spent
You were there.
Saturdays in, I'm not going to say her name, but a math teacher's class. She's not getting paid on that Saturday.
Oh yeah, we did.
She's not getting paid on that Saturday.
I just want to say,
No.
all those teachers at that school are wonderful people that genuinely, truly care about teaching
Well,
kids.
except for the chemistry one.
Except
you,
for the
you know,
and the
what I'm
econ
talking
one.
about.
But they were fun. So
I never had her.
She was awesome. She was awesome.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I bet you are.
No.
That back
don't think-
corner goes crazy.
Nah.
The stories from that back corner could fill an entire podcast in itself.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Oh, what if we got her on? That'd be fun.
If we ever run it, yeah.
That would be fun.
No, she was a good teacher.
She
taught
wasn't.
us a lot.
She genuinely cared though.
Now, I don't know other
But I will say,
schools go, but
Miss-
we had really
I'm not
good.
sure.
I think we had pretty good teachers.
We did.
All around.
Mr. Bio was such a big inspiration to me.
Dude,
I love that man so
Shout out.
much.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out, Mr. Bio.
So, yeah. So,
Side tangent.
no, you're good. So,
Give us some more gigs.
Yeah.
Of like cloud space on Google products.
Yeah.
15 is not enough. Screw you, Google. Give me more space to store my photos.
Yeah, spend less on these Chinese workers in this factory. Stop giving them so much money. I'm kidding.
But yeah, so
Back to that.
I was driving down here, and I was like, okay, you know, I like Atlanta a lot.
Some people would disagree.
I was like, where do I want to live in the future when I have a kid and all that? Because I was like, okay, I have 3 places that I kind of, at least in the U.S., would like to live in.
You mean states or cities? Like how specific are you getting?
3 places in Georgia.
Okay.
Oh, in Georgia?
Yeah. So we have Savannah. Fucking love Savannah.
Savannah's
Nice.
really hit or miss, though, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah. There's
Would love living in Savannah.
some parts of it that are really nice, and there's some parts of it that are like tourist traps.
Well, I mean that's I mean.
I wouldn't want to live in one of the tourist trap parts.
Yeah. So like Savannah, I think it's awesome.
For a similar
biggest-
advice, you go to Brunswick.
Yeah. Like that coastal Georgia area, we'll just say, we'll generalize it to that.
Yeah.
That, Monticello,
That was my stomach.
or Atlanta. I mean, I like all 3 of them a lot. And it's like, well, fuck, okay.
Why not Covington?
I mean, yeah, okay, we'll say Monticello,
So just
Covington
middle
area.
Georgia, around this area.
Sure.
Middle Georgia.
And it was like, okay,
I
well,
wouldn't want to live in Covington.
do I want to, do I, like, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, Monticello is great, but one, it's really racist, and I don't want my kid to go through what I went through, one.
Yeah.
And 2, not much to do here, you know?
Honestly, I think that's a plus though, not having much like to distract, much like physical things to distract you, because it makes you talk a lot more and just have a lot more person-to-person connection, which I think today we are lacking a lot. Because I remember I wasn't very social until like 12th grade, but the reason I was social is because someone took a chance and invited me out to their like backwoods property bonfire thing. I had the time of my life there. It was awesome.
Do you mean Devin?
I was gonna say his name, but yeah.
He's been on our podcast before.
Podcast.
He's done 2 reviews with us.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like
Whatever.
I didn't out him like that.
Out.
Yeah, out the guy for making you a better person. How dare he?
Yeah.
But
what the fuck, Devin?
But, I mean, so, I was like, okay, I like Atlanta. Like, when I get rich, I could just buy a penthouse in Atlanta or something.
I wouldn't want to live in Atlanta. I just don't like big cities like that. I wouldn't want to be in one.
But then I was like, hold on, what if I just buy a fuck ton of land in Monticello? Because, like, a nice-ass apartment in Atlanta, over the span of a year, that's probably what's going to get you, like, a fucking nice house in Monticello.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want a nice-ass house in Atlanta, or a penthouse in Atlanta, or do I want my own land, like, again, this is for a family and stuff, and a bunch of fucking land in Monticello. There's not much shit to do, but it's a good school system, and also, like, you know, it's just really nice out here, nature-wise, and then, or Savannah.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I can't choose, and like, I know this is like 15 fucking years away, but I've thought about this for quite a while.
I do think it's important to say, at least for me, I never grew up with internet or anything like that. So having...
I got it at like 9 years old or some shit.
You lucky bastard, shut up.
What do you mean, like internet? Like physically having like your computer be able to turn on?
I didn't have a computer until...
No, but like, is that what I'm asking? Is that what I mean? That's what you're saying. I mean,
I was pretty much electronic free until 8th grade when I got my first phone, which I could only use for calls. The first time I got access to the internet was like in like 11th, or not 11th, like end of my 9th grade year, I would say. But even then, it took me until 12th grade to get internet itself.
and do you think that was an advantage to you or a disadvantage?
Well,
22 minutes.
you want to cut? And then I can go into my little
Keep
story
going.
real quick?
Well, go and then we cut.
I think I learned to sit down and appreciate nature and like be, I hate to say like in tune with the earth because that makes me sound like a hippie, which not a bad title, but just being able to sit back and relax and notice those small things without having like not have to have constantly be entertained by something is important for someone to learn.
Yeah.
To learn to be aware in the moment and to just exist in this beautiful place around us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being able... I remember, literally, I hadn't smelled fresh cut grass for like almost a year. So smelling that when I came back down here,
Yeah.
it brings back so many memories. And I just stopped. Just stopped where I was and just watched. Just looked around me, took a 360 around me. Just realized how vibrant, how beautiful everything was. How all the smells in the air, the wind blowing through my hair. Like, it's not something you can get in a lot of places. That's why I don't like the city. I like being in a place where where everything's not go, 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 go. I want to be able to relax, sit there, and just be. Just be.
But I would say, except for the internet thing, because, I mean, we could talk about this all day long, and we could be wrong or we could be right. But my opinion on the internet is, was it a net positive that it was created in the first place?
I'd say so,
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, there's
maybe.
I
don't know.
lot of bad that came with it, but overall it's a net positive.
I mean, I don't know. And also, who knows what the future holds?
I think there should be an age limit on the internet, though.
I think that should be left up to parents.
I'm not gonna let my kid have internet.
I have a contrary to that though.
Okay, pause.
Not every parent. Okay.
Pause.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, that's valid, yeah.
Political opinions next.
Still gotta wrap up OnlyFans, dude.
I know, we haven't even...
Maybe we'll find a way to get back.
What's our turn?
I wasn't going to keep that part in probably. But no, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying that what I'm about to say is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I'm just saying not every parent is perfect, and not every parent, you know what I mean? Like not every parent actually is a good parent. You know what I mean? Not everybody should have kids, whether they want to or not. Maybe not everybody should have kids.
True.
So leaving it up to the parents maybe isn't the greatest idea. Now, of course, it's depending, and I don't know how you judge that. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't give me the greatest feeling. Just go, leave it up to the parents. They know what their kid wants. You know what I mean? Because you always hear terrible stories all the time about parents doing terrible things to their kids and stuff. And it's just like, you know, maybe they shouldn't have ever been allowed to have kids. And I'm not saying determine who has kids and who doesn't. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just, you know, spitballing.
Yeah.
Just getting a little silly here. What if we like select the children we want to have and call the week?
Yeah.
Let's get silly here.
Let's just pick and choose. But yeah, I mean, that would be the only thing I would say to that.
Yeah.
But I also think
It's tough because it's like a balance of individual liberty and then government and laws and things like that. Like,
but I feel like everyone knows that
Trust.
some things aren't good. Like a
I
parent,
disagree
even a
hardly.
bad parent can look at like a tiger and go, I probably shouldn't leave my baby with that. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree hardly with that. And
I don't know. Have you
that
seen
doesn't-
TikTok content?
That doesn't even I'm kind of just talking about morality, to be honest. Like, I'm about to go into a whole side tangent. This is one of the positions that
We've gone on so many side tangents. Too. It's okay.
I will continue to defend, and some people may call it extreme. So it's something that I call fluid morality, dynamic morality, whatever you want to call it. It's like, so you can easily see this exact thing happening with things like gay marriage, with things like, not really abortion, because we're still kind of on the fringe about that, but
I believe our president said we should have it, and he's our president, and we don't have it.
Yeah.
So
like gay marriage, slavery, women's
rights,
things like that. If 400 years ago, all those things were extreme cases. It was like, do you think we're gonna have flying cars, or do you think we're gonna let fucking slavery, or we're gonna free black people, and then they'd be like, I don't know what the fuck a car is, but we're probably gonna have that before we free a person. Before we free black people, if you ask somebody in the 1800s, that so things that we considered taboo and pretty out of the ordinary back then and not socially acceptable back then is now pretty socially acceptable now. I commented on this with like that, I think, podcast video that I sent you guys. Maybe I didn't. It was like this chick was talking about, it was a judge, like she was on a court show, and she mentioned she had 7 bodies, and I don't know when this was, but when that was filmed, that was a lot of bodies. Now, 7 bodies is like the minimum that an average person is probably gonna have.
I still think that's absurd.
Yeah, it is kind of. So things change, and what things are socially acceptable. Like, again, this might be a fucking weird thing to say, but if technology gets advanced enough and sex transitions, gender transitions become easily reversible, I genuinely think transgenderism is going to become just like a fashion commodity. If you want to wear blue one day, pink the next day, you could do that. If technology becomes as that advanced to the point where you can literally just reverse with like hormone changes or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's taboo, and people are calling people that are transgender like rapists and pedophiles and things like that. What they used to say to gay people back then, by the way, but now gay people are cool. Now the new scapegoat is transgender people. Once transgender people become cool because technology can allow us to just fucking change our gender on the day that we're feeling, and something else is going to be the scapegoat, and something else is going to be blamed upon. So this is what I call fluid morality, which is like, you remember how you mentioned like, oh yeah, we innately as human beings know something is wrong, right? Let me give an example. Murder. We as human beings know it's wrong. You could argue that, 1,000 years from now, it'll be wrong. 1,000 years ago, it was wrong, and it's still wrong today. I disagree, because if everybody were okay with murder and there was no bad feelings of it, it becomes so normalized. But then there would be it wouldn't be wrong.
But it won't ever, because there's like some things that will never change.
There's a lot of things that I think 99% of things will change.
I do like the idea.
Porn was terrible. Now it's just getting her back.
Yeah, I mean, going back to OnlyFans.
Am I wrong? The transition.
Yeah, I mean,
I do want to say though,
I genuinely think that if us as a society degrades so much that we are numb to murder, it would be so insane 50 years ago to just watch somebody, pull up a cartel like shooting video. Yeah. Now we're just numb to it.
Which is a terrible thing.
Yeah, I know, right? I think that could, if society degrades so much and it's its chance. It's absolutely a chance. Yeah. I completely disagree with, oh no, we'd never do that. No, we could do that, because us human beings are shitty and terrible.
Well, my thing is,
there's actually a game that talks, or doesn't really talk about it, but like features the idea of life being worth pennies. It's a really weird game. Really, really weird. Like, I don't have time to get into it. It's called Cruelty Squad.
I don't have time to get into it. Start talking about it.
I'm not going to talk about it for much longer.
No, I know.
It features a corrupt society in the future that fleshes but like money. It's worth less. It's worth less than pennies at that point.
But
I want to say
But,
that
yeah, whatever. Go back to what you were saying.
the social thing that you're talking about, like you said, with let's lose an example. By the way,
body
I'm
count,
for
something like
yeah.
that.
Let's use
Whatever.
body. Let's use body count.
Anything.
Let's use body count. It used to be weird that you even had more than two
Four,
person in
three,
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's even weird that you had two people you had sex with. It's normally your husband or your wife. Now it's gotten so much where it's like if you got 6 or 7, it's like yeah. So does everybody else sitting here. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
What? Y'all do?
No, I'm just saying. So my point is it okay that we are just going with society and whatever ends up being the way it is it okay? Because we're all then agreeing it's okay. So then is it okay or did we fuck up?
So that's tough because, like, for example,
That's what I'm saying.
let me use an example of something that's fucked up right now, but in 200 years it may be completely okay.
Mm-hmm. Can you do it again?
I don't know if this time, dude. I don't know about this time, dude.
It's gone. Anyways, incest.
We gotta get off this.
Okay,
This
no,
was
we're
last
not-
podcast.
we're
Okay,
not gonna
okay, you know what? Bestiality. All right, let's
All
go.
right,
No,
that's
no.
different. That's different.
No, let's go back to OnlyFans.
Well, no, because I don't think his point revolves around OnlyFans unless you can make it that way.
I guess you could.
Sex work.
Okay, let's say prostitution then.
Okay.
That's still a big issue.
So prostitution, I think that was like the first job ever. I think like
Yeah, it was. Well, people say that it was the first job ever created.
Yeah. So again, it's kind of just always been demonized since the beginning, and it's still demonized because, you know, demonized by being literally legally demonized by being illegal.
Yeah.
Again, like we've been kind of been accepting it more because we're like, okay, it's literally just OnlyFans, but like, you know, I guess on the streets.
Yeah.
As an example.
It's a lot more unsafe than OnlyFans, but yeah.
Yeah, but if you were to legalize it, it would become a lot more safe.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know.
Government regulations,
Yeah.
possibly even unions, things like that. Because
That's true.
Sex workers.
sex worker unions, yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
trade people have it, teachers have it. I see no reason as to why sex workers shouldn't be able to have it either. And when you do have it illegalized, pimps kind of like, you know,
They go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in, I don't know, 200 years, maybe it will be okay. And
Maybe.
it will be legalized. And it will be, again, treated as just another job. Same. And maybe porn and OnlyFans will be untabooed in 100, 200 years. And we'll be okay with people, just putting a price tag on their body and like, yeah, here you go.
I mean, that's already happening. You can see
Some
the
people are willing to accept
Well,
it.
you can look even like in the past 20 years how it's changed. People are way more accepting of sex work now than they were back then.
Yeah.
If that's good or not up to us to decide. None of us know.
But I don't
Sure,
think
we all
that's
have
the point we're
personal
making.
stances.
I don't think we're saying is it good or bad. I think
We're not, but we're saying how it's
we're asking the
changing.
bigger question, and that is it okay that everyone's just following along with society? And
I
I'm
think-
not saying that society is bad. I'm saying, is it okay that in 200 years we'll have totally different mindsets?
Yeah.
Is it that okay?
I really want to use my bestiality
Go ahead.
example.
You know,
I don't care.
Sure, I wanna
So,
hear
like, again, it's illegal
it.
now.
I don't want to hear it.
But
Let's hear it.
200 years from now, let's say that it was okay and normalized. Is people doing it right now then wrong? This can be normal. This can be
You're saying if
Argue
it's
for
if it's
anything
legal,
that's-
there's not one person on the world that says it's bad.
yes,
Yeah.
legal. Everybody's okay with it. This isn't just about that one topic, bestiality. It could be
I
generalized to literally anything.
I just don't think that'll ever happen.
And
I
if
don't
that
think
is the
we'll ever
case-
see.
If that is the case, and there is literally no such thing as pure good.
Well, you can
That's
say that it may
true.
never become a thing, but we are going into a world where there's a high chance that our sex partners, until our wives or husbands, will be robots.
Wait, what? What the fuck?
Like
I mean,
they're
he's
creating
making a point
sex
there.
robots.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So you could end up in a world where you have sex with robots until you decide you want a kid, and then you do it with your wife.
And then that leads into like, okay,
So then
what
it
about
leads
polygamous relationships? Will that eventually be normalized? And, you know, because like everybody's like, oh, the sanctity of marriage has to be between a man and a woman, and monogamous, and things. It's for, you know, having kids. Okay, well then how is that going to change? And, you know, this also, a lot of religious people don't like my argument of fluid morality, because when you argue that, you kind of argue, okay, well, what's good? And what does God consider good? Is God cool with bestiality?
Well, I think that's what kind
If
of.
society deems
But
it
that's
good.
society.
Is slavery good?
you have to separate. This is gonna sound awful. I don't know if I should say that, but take for example the Bible. The Bible has a set
Set rules.
core set of morals
Yeah.
that are objective to it and people who live by it. I try my best to live by those morals.
And I would
And
say.
I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. I'm not gonna say anyone's perfect, but I do think there are things that those morals should be steadfast on.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it makes sense or not. I'm very tired right now.
No,
But okay, but so if we. So another thing that I have, which goes into this, is a group of people from, let's say, our generation creates a set of rules and says, okay, we can do this, we cannot do this. In 300 years, when the total world has changed, was it okay that they're still under those set of rules? Because the world has changed around those rules. So those rules could have changed. They also could not have changed. Maybe that 300 years they stuck to those rules and they believed it.
Let me just give you an example. In the span of 300 years, from 1700 to the 2000s, dude, so much shit is fucking
Well, I know.
changed. It's insane.
But there's a lot of rules
Yeah, we don't own people anymore.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
societal change is fucking exponential. I was thinking about this. I was like, oh yeah, I told you, like, 10 years ago, Monticello was a lot smaller than it is right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but there's still really not that much to do in Monticello. Maybe 10 years from now, there will be more stuff to do, and I'll actually, you know, be like, okay, maybe my kid can live here. Again, growth is exponential to an extent. More so, I mean, like technological growth as opposed to like population.
Mm.
But yeah, like technological growth is exponential, and so is societal growth, and the way that society moves. So things are going to change. If things change in the 1700s to the 2000s by that much, I can only imagine what the fuck is going to be, what the fuck the world is going to be like in the year 2300.
But my point is, what is okay? Is it okay that we let everything evolve and do what it has done?
Yeah.
Well,
Or do we just stop it? Or do we stop it and we put down the boot and we go, okay, some things can change, but these big critical things can never change in our society.
Those are conservatives.
Well, true. But my general point is, like, can something like murder
ever be?
Should it ever be okay that society deems it to be okay? Or should we step in and we go, hey, this will never be okay, and we enforce it to where it actually never does be okay? Or do we just let society take its job, and maybe it does become okay? And we have to live with that
Well,
fact.
isn't that what laws are for?
Yes, but laws change all the time. Once again, laws said we had slaves, and then we changed those laws to where we didn't anymore. You can
Yes.
change laws.
That is true.
Society can change laws. Society changes laws all the time.
It's gonna take a big change to change some of the important ones. So
Murder.
I don't know.
murder.
But what-
Let me give you an example, though. Again, technology is gonna get better, dude. So hypothetical is like, imagine that technology is so good that you can literally murder somebody and just bring them back. Now you can literally just play with a life. And if the person consensually allows you to just fucking kill them, then what is is murder okay now?
That's-
If the person's like cool with it happening.
But that's Silas. That's what you're saying. You're shaking your head like that's insane. But you could end up in a world where
You very
it
much
does.
could. That could be a very big thing.
I understand that, but no person should be playing God like that.
But that's what you're saying.
I think.
But
it's-
are they playing God if they can bring them back?
Yes.
Like nothing ever happened.
Yes.
When
It's playing God.
I mean, maybe.
Somebody
But
think
reviving somebody, you
So,
bring them back.
Do you
it's
think?
frightening.
Do you think
Yeah, it is.
species that are naturally going extinct should just go extinct?
It's another big thing. I mean, obviously.
Plants, animals.
Well, that goes into society. Well, not necessarily our society, but the world is changing to where those animals are becoming extinct. Should we step in, put our boot down, and go no, or should we just let everything take its natural course, like it is going?
Let me give you an example of what you're talking about with the animals.
Sure.
Rhinos, western or northern white rhinos,
Okay.
are almost extinct, or they are extinct. They either recently become extinct or are down to like the last 10 or something like that.
Okay.
They are probably going to be extinct in the next 30 years, which is terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah.
I hate to see species go extinct of any kind, even if it's a bug or something like that. But it is becoming extinct because of us. Because we are poaching for its horns, killing because it's considered a pest to some people over there.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's us, is it up to us to also protect them? Or do we draw the line in the sand at that? Because, like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the
Because it's
point.
our fault.
So then, what about Israel and Palestine?
I don't know. That's a whole other thing.
Well,
Well,
because
I don't think.
let's be fucking honest, dude. It's a genocide. I'm gonna say it right now. You can say whatever you want. It fucking is. Like, the Palestinians are a pest to the Jews, to the Israeli people.
But
Should we just let them happen because that's
Yeah.
just how the course of the world is gonna go? Just let them die out, or should we, play God and?
But then you can
Not
go
let
back
them
to
die out.
then you can go back to saying people that were not Palestinian or Israeli. I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong.
The Jews.
They decided that that's the way that plot of world is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of those people decided. They were told, "Hey, you're living in this area,"
Yeah.
and then the people that decided that left
The
and
fucking
said,
British.
the
The
British."
fucking British.
So
Fucking
in the world that we have right now, should we force the British to fix it?
Mhm.
Should we let Israel and Palestine fix it themselves? Should we let the world all come together and decide what to do with it? And I'm not saying we need to decide. I'm not saying that I have the answers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's for us to read, to decide and depict and to determine which one it should be. I'm just saying I think the questions there's
Need
questions
to be asked.
There's
and
questions that need to be asked.
arisen.
So it's
and
about
posed
accountability.
to you people.
It's about accountability.
Yes.
And also, it's not nothing is straightforward. There can be two truths in every story. There can be two lies in every story. There's so many things happening, especially in something like Israel and Palestine. There's so many little individual things that are going on that to have a just strong opinion one way, like picking a side basically, is ignorant to me. How can you just decide which one is the right one? Which one is morally the right one and which one's morally the wrong one? I think that's insane. There's millions of people involved in both sides.
Yeah.
You're demonizing one group if you pick a side.
Shouldn't. And
That's just the way it is. Whether you were right or wrong, whether in 500 years, if you're determined right or wrong on your opinion, it doesn't really matter.
like I said, especially with us being like, let's be honest,
19.
We don't.
19, not involved.
Which one are you? 20.
He's
20.
20. I'll be
Still
20
19.
in 3 days.
Nice. Fuck yeah. 19
Yeah.
gang.
Hey guys.
Yeah, you're the old man. You should be stepping in, telling us what to do.
That's the thing. I've been thinking about this a lot. Is like getting older, and like, I don't think it's our place to decide.
Well, whose is it then?
Exactly. I don't know.
It's either all of us or it's
none.
certain people's.
I
And
think-
that also has to be a question that
Exactly.
I think everyone
I
has to
don't-
determine. Do
but-
we let certain groups of people determine our lives and how the world is going to go? Or do we let every single human being on this planet have a voice? And I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that works. But I don't think it hurts to think about. You know what I mean?
You're asking the age-old question.
No, I'm not asking
How do
anybody.
we- how
I'm
do
not
we
asking you.
represent?
I'm not asking Gio. I'm not asking anybody that's watching this. I'm just putting it out there. Is it okay to have a closed mind on anything, or is it okay to have an open mind on everything? Should you just have an opinion on something and be okay to never change that opinion no matter what happens? Or is it okay to have your opinions be able to be kind of twisted and bent, and maybe they never completely change, but maybe some things get fixed, some things get moved around, molded differently. Or maybe your opinion completely changes. My opinion, since I've been born, my opinions have changed on so many things. And it seems like the older I get, the more times my opinion molds and changes.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like me and OnlyFans.
Exactly. There we go, we got back!
I was
With
about
the
to say that
OnlyFans.
too.
With the OnlyFans thing, are these 19-year-old, mostly women, but there are men out there, but mostly women, are they going to regret this when they're 40 and have 3 kids? And their kids are going to ask very serious questions.
Dude, I'd hate to be that kid. See
Exactly.
my mom get banged.
Like Riley
Two
Reid in her
BBCs.
interview, she's terrified to have children.
Lana Rhodes has had children, and then
You revved up the car.
started looking the truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she had children, and essentially she was just claiming, like, oh, you lack respect. You don't respect women if you, I guess, make fun of her for doing porn. That was
Yeah.
essentially her whole argument. It's like you're misogynistic and you don't respect women.
I think that's a very...
I think that's a stupid.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's more commenting on sex workers than your gender.
I mean, it depends on what they're saying to her, I guess. But if they're
It
just
was like,
saying that
oh,
she
oh,
should
yeah.
have never done porn, I don't think that's necessarily attacking women, because there's men in the business as well.
It was like, your kid is going to like be bullied. Like, he's going to have a terrible childhood.
But he very well could.
Yeah, but then she was like, oh, you don't respect women. You're being misogynistic.
Yeah.
Essentially things like that.
And
Yeah, I just think that's, first of all, I think porn is a very misogynistic business.
Yeah.
I don't
it's a
disagree with
it's a
that.
very abusive business and just totalitarian.
But
Totality.
But I think that I think she's arguing she's using the wrong point to decide what she's saying.
Yeah.
I think if she chose something else, she would have a better opinion, but at least in my opinion, and I could be right or wrong, who knows what holds with her kid's life. But if they have access to the internet,
Which
they know their last name, they know their mother, if they find it, or I'm assuming she'll probably sit them down and talk about it. I assume, but I don't know.
Yeah, listen good. The rest
Oh.
of it is dark.
I think the baby daddy is either Blake Griffith or Kyrie Irving.
It's probably Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
It's probably Blake Griffin.
Ooh.
He's a basketball player. But anyway, like,
I think we need to approach every single topic with a grain of salt and an open-minded view, at least at first.
well,
I
my
think at
opinion,
the end of the day, that's how it should be.
I like diving nose deep first.
well,
To the deep end.
my opinion has always been, you can have your opinions and you can talk about it freely.
Yeah.
There's obviously a level to it, but you can talk freely about just about anything. But you should not be allowed to have an opinion affect somebody else unless you have researched this heavily, you've talked to people in the business, you've talked to people that are for and against it, and you can actually have a rash decision. But us three, we don't control shit.
So we've just been rambling.
So we can
for
just
no
ramble
reason.
all we
Like a
want.
rambling rat.
Oh.
Georgia Tech.
And a hell of
An
an
engineer.
engineer.
But, yeah, I mean, I think my opinion still stands. I think the porn business should be heavily regulated, and I think age should play a huge factor in who's doing it and who's not doing it.
Surely. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying get rid of it, because there are pros and there are cons to everything, first off. There's pros and cons to pizza, okay? I'm not saying get rid of pizza.
Exactly. Everything's grayscale. I think at the end of the day, we all agree everything is grayscale. And that won't change. Our views on how the grayscale shifts might, but the scale itself or the scale might change, but the gray part of it never will.
Yeah.
There will always be extremes. There will always be people at those extremes, and there will always be people in the middle.
Yeah.
No matter the time, age, social aspect of it, or governmental aspect of it.
And I would also say it's not a bad thing that we didn't come to a conclusion.
No,
It's not a bad thing that we came to an
These are-
answer.
Yeah, don't expect any good answers, guys.
Yeah, we don't have any
We don't
answers at
have-
all for any
like-
of this.
like
Just
we
like
said.
to pose questions and make you think.
Because
And make you come to the conclusion.
It's on
put
there.
it in the comments.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Just be like, go Israel.
Also, like, I don't know. Government has a lot of this. Has a lot of things that they can actually do. So maybe think about who you're voting for. Maybe take some time and not just vote for the president. Maybe vote for your mayor, your governor, your senators, all of it.
Talking to you, Democrats.
Hey, the Democrats don't vote. At least the Republicans vote.
Yeah, they don't vote for anything besides the presidential general election. Yeah, and it's
Just-
fucking annoying.
I'm just saying they give you the right to vote. They give you the right to give your
And use it
opinions.
while you can.
Use it.
Before I raise the fucking age limit.
That's right. We're gonna have control of this country if y'all don't step in.
Yeah.
But, I think that came to a natural end. I think we
Yeah.
did pretty good.
We're the Foodies, and thank you for joining us for a midnight snack.
Nice.